Good morning, children. So, yesterday we have discussed up till this page number 71, right? The story of numbers. So, let us continue today. The next topic, that is the art of printing, after which we have the story of paper, script and books for the blind, literacy and progress, and with that we will come to the end of the chapter, right? Okay, let us see the art of printing. The art of printing was first developed by the Chinese. Underline that. At that time, books were written by hand and it was a time consuming activity, so only few people could read and learn. Now see, today the books that you have in front of you, these are all printed in machines, various types of machines. We have printers and devices. But there was a time when these devices, you can say these machines, these printers weren't there with us. But however, books were there. So how were those books written? Those books were basically written by hand, and there's a terminology which is also called as manuscript. Handwritten books in simple language. But just imagine the book that you have right in front of you. If I ask you to write this book by hand, then how much time it would take? Just for an example, just during an examination, when you have this the question paper in front of you, which has just maximum 10, 15, 20 questions, and you are being allotted a time period of 3 hours, even that isn't sufficient for you, right? For some of you. So just think that if this whole book, how many pages are there? 136. If I ask you to write, how much time consuming it would be? So as a result, what had happened was there were very few books, and since there were few books, so very few people could read and learn. The first printers used blocks of wood with pictures. Underline that. The blocks were inked and printed on crude pieces of clay. Later on, words were also added to the pictures. Alright, so that was how the first printer was invented, you can say. It was basically blocks of wood which had some pictures upon it, and what they used to do is that these blocks of wood, they were inked, okay, and after that they were printed with the help of those blocks, or like a kind of a stamp. I hope you have seen a stamp on a crude pieces of clay. And gradually it so happened, even words were added to those pictures. It took nearly 1,000 years before any real change was applied in the method used to reproduce the written words. Who invented this and where? Johann Gutenberg, a German printer, put the idea of using movable metal type. He printed his first book, the famous Gutenberg Bible, by this method. Underline that. Johann Gutenberg, a German printer, put the idea of using movable metal type. He printed his first book, the famous Gutenberg Bible, by this method. Alright, so do note down the name. The man who invented the first printer, you can say that too, a movable metal type printer, that's Johann Gutenberg. He was from German, and the first book that he printed was the famous Gutenberg Bible. Printing soon became the first means of mass communication. As a result, reading and writing spread widely and rapidly. See, I repeat this line. Printing soon became the first means of mass communication. As a result, reading and writing spread widely and rapidly. Just now, in the previous page, we read, go to the first paragraph. Okay, I'll read that some line. At that time, books were written by hand and it was a time-consuming activity, so only few people could read and learn. Now, because of this printing that Johann Gutenberg, that printing, printer, the device that he invented, so reading and writing spread widely and rapidly. I hope you understood what I'm trying to compare between the two. Since the 1930s, more advancement has been made in the field of printing than in all the years since Gutenberg. Alright. So yes, Johann Gutenberg, he invented, you can say, the first movable metal type printer, and he also printed the first book, that is the famous Gutenberg Bible. But however, it was during the 1930s, not 1930, 1930s that more advancement, in the field of printing took place. Next we have the story of paper. The term paper is derived from the words papyrus. Alright? Please underline that the term paper is derived from the word papyrus. Man had created a writing material much before he invented paper. The first ever material used for writing were the skin of birch, the leaves of palm trees, and the copper plates. This line we also came across, where is it? Was it in this chapter? It was from, I think it was for a different class, not here. Alright, so take note of that as well. The first ever material used for writing were the skin of birch, the leaves of palm trees, and the copper plates. So it was not the paper which was used for writing on the earlier days. Paper came much later. Egyptians were the first to make the paper-like material from papyrus. They took stems of papyrus plant, peeled and flattened them. When dry, this could be used as a sheet of papyrus on which they could write. Alright, so this is how paper was invented. So basically it was the Egyptians, okay. It's basically a plant. I don't have much knowledge about plant. It's papyrus or papyrus plant, which was peeled, the skin was taken off, flattened, and then when it was dried, later on it can be used as a sheet of papyrus on which they can write. Paper was first developed in China. From there, the art of paper making spread to Europe and England. Underline that. Paper was first developed in China, and later on it started spreading to Europe and England. Today, wood pulp is used to make paper. Underline that as well. Nowadays, paper is one of the world's most important industrial product. Books, magazines, and newspapers are printed on paper. People in education, government, and industrial sector cannot operate without printing and paper. Alright. Note on the points. The paper first, it was developed in China. Later on, gradually, this art of paper making, it started spreading from China to Europe and England. The paper that we have today, it is basically made from wood pulp. So these are the points from this particular paragraph. And as you know that this what do you call paper in today's world, it's one of, in fact, the book that we have in front of us, the words from where we are reading, even that is printed on paper. The answers that you write during your examinations, a piece of information. Yes, we do have this what do you call e-books. Nowadays everything is getting digitalized, right? In your, what is this, laptop, computer, mobile phones, various technology we have. But it will still take some time because everybody is not user friendly with it. So generally what people prefer is paper, knowledge with the help of paper, where they get it, be it a magazine, be it a book, be it a newspaper. And moreover, as it is mentioned, that people in education, government, and industrial sector cannot operate without printing and paper. So you can mark that. Supposingly, if you are being asked to write some examples of some sectors which cannot operate without paper, That's education, government and industrial sector. We have two more topics, that is script and books for the blind, literacy and progress. Shall we end this? No, let's skip here. We have done the art of printing and the story of paper. Alright, I hope you have marked down all those key points which I have asked you. Yes, I did receive not all, some of you have submitted your homeworks yesterday, and whatever I have asked you to mark down, you have written it down. I could see that when I was checking it. It's good, very good. But I would expect each one of you, everybody, to do the same. And as I told you yesterday, earlier, and I'll be repeating it again, do know that all your activities are being marked. Okay? Go to page number 73 before I end the class. I would read out some of the questions. Do mark that. Why am I saying so? As because these are the questions which we have already covered till this topic. Alright? Like 73, question number A1. What is a pictorial script? Those who are listening to the class, for them the notes are already done. And those who are not attending the class, you will ask, sir, where is the notes? Alright, so what is a pictorial script? See, go to page number 70. Go to the topic, the story of writing. I will read, please follow. Writing is a system of communicating by means of symbols or signs. The earliest writing tried by different people were mainly in pictorial form because the art of painting came much before the art of writing. So now come back to the question. What is a pictorial script? Pictorial script is basically the art of painting, okay, and such type of writing which was done only through art of painting. I repeat, the writing which was done in the earlier days only through art of painting is defined as pictorial script. Okay. Next, who was the inventor of the first printing press? Just now we read page number 72, right on top, second line. Johann Gutenberg, a German printer. How did the spread of knowledge help people? Okay, this topic we haven't covered yet. We'll come back to this. So you just have to write what is a pictorial script, who was the inventor of the first printing press. Question number 4. How did the paper first develop in the world? Look there, the story of paper which we have discussed now, second paragraph. Paper was first developed in China. Did you get that? And this, what do you call it? Where is that stylus? Just now we, not stylus, that's papyrus. Yeah. First paragraph under the topic, the story of paper. The second last sentence of the first paragraph, okay? They took stems of papyrus plant, peeled and flattened them. When dry, this could be used as a sheet of papyrus on which they could write. And also the first line, the term paper is derived from the word papyrus, right? So I repeat again, how did the paper first develop in the world? The answer goes like this. Paper was first developed in China, okay, and then it spread it to Europe and England. But however, it was the Egyptians who were the first to make paper like material. Listen properly. It's all I'm reading here from the first paragraph and the second, the one which I have told you to mark. But however, it was the Egyptians who were the first to make the paper like material from papyrus. They took stems of papyrus plant, peeled and flattened them. Full stop. When dry, this could be used as a sheet of papers on which they could write. Finish. I'm just saying it from your textbook. There is no other book that I have. Okay, describe the braille script that we haven't covered yet. How a literacy. Alright. So from question number A, you just have to write what is a pictorial script, who was the inventor of the first printing press, how did paper first develop in the world. From fill in the blanks, number 2, number 3, number 5, please mark. Let me also mark so that when I get your homework, I can tally it, or else I may forget. 1, 2. So from fill in the blanks, number 2, 3, 5, the one which has been explained. I will never ask you to do anything or to write anything which I haven't explained. From MCQ, number 1, 2, 5. Okay, true or false? All the 4, because all these are covered already. Match the column 1, 2, 3, 5, not 4. 4 I haven't explained yet. And from question number F, 2, 4, 1, not 3. Alright, so these are the ones. So almost see, we are done with the exercise also. That's what I used to say. The number of topics that we do daily, 1 or 2 topics, if you follow the class and if you take note of the points, that's enough for you. Alright, yeah, it's more. So we'll do it in the next class, the remaining 2 topics. Okay, see you then. Study well, everyone.